Hello, everyone. I am thrilled to have you with us today. I'm Jennifer Jones, the President and CEO of Fighting Blindness Canada. I'm a Caucasian woman in her 50s. Of course, that means I'm wearing glasses. I have curly shoulder-length blonde hair, and today I am wearing a navy blue Fighting Blindness Canada sweater. Welcome to our Move for Sight warm-up rally. We have an impressive lineup of speakers and stories to share. But first, I would like to acknowledge the Indigenous peoples of all the lands that we are on today. In Toronto, where our office is and I am right now, this is the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This land is also part of the Dish with One Spoon territory, a treaty between the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the Anishinaabeg, and allied nations. As we have community members across Canada, we also acknowledge from coast to coast to coast the ancestral and unceded territory of the Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people for whom this land is home. Today is a big day for Fighting Blindness Canada and our supporters across the country. Not only are we launching our new Move for Sight fundraising event, but we are also celebrating our 50th anniversary. Thanks to all of your support over the years, we have invested more than $45 million in vision research and education programs. That translates into over 280 research grants, which have resulted in close to 850 academic discoveries. To be able to have that significant impact over 5 decades, Fighting Blindness Canada has always evolved to stay relevant to our community while remaining focused on our purpose. This year, that evolution has us introducing Move for Sight, our newest fundraising event. Move for Sight is an inclusive fundraising event that it gives our community the choice to decide how and where they want to move. That may be walking, running, cycling, hiking, baking, or doing a yoga class. For some, doing any activity might be challenge enough. For others, this is an opportunity to see what you're capable of and set an audacious goal. We leave it to you to decide just how much of a challenge you want it to be. You can register as a team or as an individual and tell everyone what your move challenge will be. To help us fundraise and raise funds and awareness to move critical vision research and education forward, this event is how we're going to do it together. Today is the kickoff with 7 weeks to go before we get to Move for Sight Day on Sunday, June 23rd. That's the day that we're asking everyone to do their activity across Canada. So if June 23rd is Move Day, why are we kicking off Move for Sight today? Well, May is Vision Health Month, and it makes a great time to raise awareness on the importance of eye health and vision care. Throughout the month, we will regularly share information to educate people about the significance of eye exams, early detection of eye diseases, the importance of vision health, and healthy habits to maintain good vision. As 100% of our work is made possible by fundraising, and May is Vision Health Month, it makes the launch of our new fundraising event, Move for Sight, perfectly timed. We encourage you to register today and move with us over the next 7 weeks, culminating on a Move for Sight Day, June 23rd. In the next half an hour, we have a special lineup of 3 guest speakers who have an important relationship with the work we do. The last speaker will also take us through a move warm-up, so get ready to do some stretching. But first, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Peter Kertes. Dr. Kertes is a professor and chair of ophthalmology and vision sciences at U of T. He is a vitreoretinal surgeon with appointments at Kensington Eye Institute, Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center, and Sick Kids. Amazingly, Dr. Kertes and his U of T ophthalmology team have participated in Fighting Blindness Canada's fundraising events for over 10 years. Dr. Kertes could not be with us in person, so he has sent this message to you through this video.
All right, hello, and thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here introducing the inaugural Move for Sight. I have been involved with Fighting Blindness Canada and in its many different names and many different iterations, and have always been an enthusiastic supporter of Cycle for Sight. I can't remember how many I've done, but I feel as though I've done it maybe if not right at the beginning, very close to it. And it's an event that is super fun, and I like the fact that it's morphed into this more inclusive activity that allows people to do things other than cycling, because we all do lots of different things and have lots of different ways to stay active and stay fit. And what has inspired me, I was asked what inspired me to take part in um, FBC's fundraising events. I have both a personal and a professional connection to vision and blindness. Obviously, as a retina surgeon, I see many patients who struggle with vision loss, and I'm always inspired by how they overcome uh, their disability and do great things with their lives and in their world. And my wife has retinitis pigmentosa, and she has an autosomal dominant form of retinitis pigmentosa. So there are many members of her family that I have watched and witnessed and been inspired by, who don't let vision loss get in their way, but remain ever hopeful for a cure and a treatment. And I think we're at an important crossroads in fighting blindness, in the fight against blindness. I have been involved in multiple surgeries now, uh, in patients with the RPE65 mutation with Leber's congenital amaurosis, and I've delivered a gene therapy into their subretinal space and have watched them really come to life. These patients have come back to me and say, they can do this and they could never do this before. They could wake up and they can see the time on their clocks, and they were never able to do that before. And they would leave their screens on overnight, but now that the light from the screen is so bothersome that they had to turn off their computers to be able to sleep. So it's been um, it's been inspiring, and this is the first gene therapy that has made it into clinical practice, and I have no doubt that we will see many more, and not just gene replacement therapies like we do with Luxturna, but gene editing treatments and a number of other ways that we can move this field forward and provide real hope for the first time in a long time for patients suffering from inherited retinal diseases. So with Fighting Blindness Canada's 50th anniversary upon us, and May being Vision Health Month, I'm going to be taking in moving vision forward by participating in this Move for Sight event this year on June 23rd. I'm officially registered and have registered to do some cycling on that day. We always have some trouble asking for money, asking our friends and family for money. But, I'm always amazed every year. I have, many patients that I see. I usually put up little posters in my waiting area, and I'm always impressed by how willing and ready people are to donate to a cause as good as this one. These are patients. There's a selection bias, because these are patients who are coming to see me with their visual difficulties, and they're very keen um, to donate. And I would see, when you reach out to friends and family to support you, I would see it not as adding a burden to them, but creating an opportunity for them to support something that's important to you, and by extension, important to them as well. Thank you so much for including me and asking me to speak. I very much look forward to taking part in Move for Sight, and look forward to seeing your stories, your pictures, and your words of inspiration on Move for Sight Day, Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. Have fun.
I always find it so powerful when I hear how important the work we do is for our community and how willing they are to work with us to achieve our goals. Next up is our second speaker. That's Conrad Eder. Conrad is going to join me in a moment. And I want to take a minute to explain why Conrad is going to join us and what he's going to speak about. And that's because Conrad is joining us a member of our Young Leaders program. Young Leaders is for young people between the ages of 15 and 35 with visual impairments who share a common spirit of not being defined by their vision loss and have bold goals and ambitions who are rich, a rich life and career. In the Young Leaders program, they learn valuable skills, gain access to tools and resources, but perhaps most importantly, they become part of a powerful collective, a group of people who share experiences, who help them navigate higher education and employment. The Young Leaders programming is developed in partnership with a panel of youth advisors who are living with vision loss. It includes a mentorship program and networking opportunities. And I see that Conrad has joined us. Hello, Conrad.
Hey,
You
Jennifer.
have been part of our Fighting Blindness Canada Young Leaders program since 2019. You were the co-chair in 2023, and you are currently, and ever so excitingly, part of the Canadian Olympic team, or para-athlete, sorry, who as part of Canada's national blind hockey team. So I'm super excited to hear more about that. Thank you for joining us. And I'd love to ask the first question, which is, can you share with us and everyone who's on this call with us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much, Jennifer, and to Fighting Blindness Canada for the opportunity to speak with you guys today. I really appreciate that. Well, you've already given me a phenomenal intro. As you alluded to, I'm a massive hockey fan, but on top of that, I love classical music. I love getting outdoors. And I'm also legally blind. When I was around 20 years old, I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa. For those who may not be aware of the disease, it's a progressive genetic disease that over time will deteriorate my vision from the outside in.
Good Lord. How did you become involved with Fighting Blindness Canada, and in particular, the Young Leaders program?
Oh, I guess that kind of takes us back to the beginning and really when I was first diagnosed. And now going back several years, it was just a run-of-the-mill optometrist appointment to check to see if I needed glasses. When I was first alerted by my optometrist that something might not quite be right.
Mhm.
After that appointment, hospital visits ensued. So did visits to a specialized ophthalmologist. And before I knew it, I was diagnosed with this very hard to pronounce disease that I didn't really know anything about. Um, and that was a point in my life where I think the feeling of lost really hit me quite hard. Um, I didn't really know where to turn, where to go to get information. The healthcare system wasn't providing me with the support that I think I needed in that moment. And like a lot of people of my generation, I guess the first thing that came to my mind was to Google it. So I typed retinitis pigmentosa into my computer and just wondered what would come up. Fortunately, the first thing that I saw was Fighting Blindness Canada. The link to their website popped up right away. And I was incredibly fortunate then to find incredibly rich information on their website that gave me a better idea of my disease, a better sense of what my disease was. Of course, after perusing the website, I was fortunate to stumble upon the Young Leaders program. A few months later, I attended my first viewpoint, running into more young leaders who encouraged me to come out to their annual conference. Shortly after that, I was in Vancouver for my first Young Leaders Conference. I haven't looked back since.
That's brilliant. It sounds like it's been a really important part of the last few years, and you figuring out, how this may evolve, and yet also support you and how you still stay connected to everything that's really, important to you and the life that you want to live. So on that note, then, with Move for Sight around the corner, can you tell us why you're excited about this new event and how you plan to get involved and move?
Oh, I first of all, I love the accessibility of Move for Sight, giving the opportunity for participants, those of us like myself who are visually impaired, but also participants who are fully sighted, a range of opportunities to engage in activity in support of what is a phenomenal cause in Fighting Blindness Canada, and by extension, the Young Leaders Program. Yeah, when I think of moving for sight, I can't think of a better way to move for sight than to play blind hockey. Blind hockey is an accessible parasport specifically designed for people with low and no vision to be able to participate in the sport of hockey that we all know and love. So on June 23rd, on our Move for Sight Day, I'm really excited to announce that I'm going to be in Ottawa hitting the ice. And I encourage the entire blind and low vision community to join me. Whether it's your first time on skates or you're a seasoned pro, we'd love to see you in Ottawa to join me on the ice and move for sight. I should very quickly add that I'm incredibly proud to say that Canadian Blind Hockey is supporting me 100% in this initiative, and I'm incredibly proud that they're helping me share my passion for blind hockey and also share my passion for growing Fighting Blindness Canada and supporting the Young Leaders Program.
That's so brilliant, Conrad. It really kind of gives me tingles. I love how your whole world is coming together to make this happen. Thank you for making Fighting Blindness Canada and Move for Sight such an important part of your world, your life. And I absolutely love that Blind Hockey Canada is getting behind you. This clearly says a lot about your level of participation and commitment to them too. And listen, it takes all of us to raise awareness of the work that we're all doing together. So kudos to you to making that happen. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about the lead up to June 23rd and then the actual day of.
Thanks
Thank
so
you
much, Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you for telling your story today and for telling the story on this evolution of how Move for Sight goes with you and the Blind Hockey Canada team.
My pleasure.
All right, you take care. All right. Our final guest is Leanne Ruber. Leanne's going to join me in a moment too. Leanne is the founder and CEO of Sekond Skin Society. Their motto, which I absolutely love, is we are setting the standard for accessibility in the health and fitness industry. And we can't wait to show you how we're bringing people with disabilities and people without disabilities together through the movement. Leanne, thank you for joining us. It kind of feels like a perfect moment for the work you're doing and the work we're doing with Move for Sight to chat. What I'd like to do is give you a moment to introduce yourself.
Thank you. So I am Leanne. I am a middle-aged white woman. I am wearing a black hoodie. I've got dark hair tied back in a little bun, and I'm wearing black framed glasses. And I'm really excited to be here with you today.
Awesome. We're totally pumped to have you with us too. It sounds like you're ready to start to get into the activity that we're talking about.
Yes.
But before we switch that up, I just wanted to extend a big thank you to you for putting time aside and leading us through this activity. I really look forward to sharing more with everyone on this call and our community about Sekond Skin Society and how they can take advantage of your work that you're doing to make fitness accessible, right? But for now, let's get warmed up and start our prep for Move for Sight Day with the warm-up that Leanne is going to lead us through now.
Hi everyone, my name is Leanne. I am a middle-aged white woman with short dark hair tied back in a little bun. I'm wearing some nice dark stretchy yoga gear, and I'm joining you from my living room today. I am on a mat. You don't need to be. In fact, you don't need anything but what you've already brought, which is just you. We're going to move through a really nice short yoga / stretching sequence today. Just to get some beautiful movement in your body. So let's actually start from a nice neutral stance. So neutral meaning your feet might be about hip distance apart. They might be a little wider, a little more narrow, whatever feels comfortable for you. We're just going to stand up nice and tall. Reach the top of the head towards the ceiling. Extend both arms wide. So left hand reaching to the left, right hand reaching to the right. Reach through those fingertips so you can feel that stretch across the top of the body, right through the chest. And then we're going to take those arms and wrap them right around your body and just give yourself a hug. It is a beautiful start to your movement practice when you start with giving your body so much love. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose here. Exhale out through the mouth. Release the arms and let's begin. So today we're actually going to come into 3 different poses, 3 different movements. We're going to do it on the right side and the left side. So we're moving into what's called a straddle forward fold, a warrior 2 pose, and an extended side angle. So we're going to start with your feet nice and wide. So take the feet wider than the hips and wider than the shoulders. However this looks for you, just find what feels comfortable in your body. You can always adjust the feet again in the future. but your toes are pointed straight out in front of you. And we're actually just gonna hinge at the hips and let the head drop all the way down towards the mat, just wherever it feels good. You can take the hands on the thighs, the knees, the shins, the ankles. So maybe you're at a flat back or a halfway lift, or let the head come all the way down closer towards the mat. And we're just gonna hang out here for a second. Feel the stretch all the way down the back of the legs. Feel the stretch in the low back. Let the body adjust here. And when you're ready, very slowly, you're gonna tuck the chin into the chest and use the core and just allow the body to slowly, slowly, slowly roll all the way back up. So that the top of the head is once again reaching towards the ceiling. From here, you're gonna turn your left heel in towards the center of the body. So the right toes are pointed towards the front of the room. The left toes are pointed towards the left of the room. You're gonna reach arms nice and wide, again, extending through that upper body, reaching fingertips to right and left, and then bend that right knee and lunging towards, or the left knee and lunging towards the left of the room. We're gonna turn the palms down towards the floor. So you're still lengthening, reaching wide with those fingers, but palms are facing the floor. Bent in that left knee. This is your warrior two. You can gaze towards that left hand. So just feeling it in the body here. You might have a nice slight bend in that warrior two. You might take it way deeper and feel that work in the quad and the glute on that left side in your warrior two. Wherever you end up is perfect. And from here, we're gonna come into our extended side angle. So we're gonna take that left elbow or the left hand to the left knee, and the right arm is gonna rise towards the ceiling. So if you have the left hand on the knee and the right hand towards the ceiling, you're gonna start to feel that stretch in the right side body. Your gaze can be up towards that right hand. If you wanna take it deeper and take that left elbow to the thigh or the knee, you're gonna feel that stretch in the right side body even deeper, and you might even actually take that right hand and point it towards the left of the room so you can really feel that stretch from the right heel all the way through the body, through those right fingertips. This is your extended side angle. Nice. Use the core, come all the way back up with the body so the top of the head is reaching towards the ceiling. You're gonna turn that left heel back out to our starting position. Let's come into that straddle forward fold again. So hinge at the hips, let the head come down towards the mat. Feel the stretch down the back of those legs. Feel the stretch in the low back. Let the head come to wherever it comes. And maybe just take a moment and notice, does the head come further to the floor than the first time? Does the body feel more comfortable in your forward fold than the first time? Maybe you feel an even deeper stretch than you did the first time. All of it is perfect. You just want to notice what's happening in the body. And then you're going to tuck the chin to the chest again. Use the core and slowly, slowly roll all the way back up so the top of the head is reaching once again towards the ceiling. Now we're going to repeat on the right side. So turning the right heel in towards the center of the body. So left toes are pointing forward, right toes are pointing towards the right of the room. Reach both arms nice and wide, lengthen through those fingertips so you can feel that stretch all the way from the fingers across the chest and to the other fingers. Turn the palms down so that they're facing the floor. Bend in that right knee, come into your warrior two, and you're gonna gaze this time towards that right hand. Beautiful job. Finding that extended side angle, that right hand can come to the knee, left hand towards the ceiling, or right elbow to the thigh, and left hand can come actually over the head, reaching towards the right of the room. Nice big stretch here. Feeling that movement in the body, that stabilization in the body. You might feel muscles working as you're standing here. Muscles working at the same time as we're stretching. Beautiful. Using that core coming all the way back up so the top of the head is reaching towards the ceiling. That right heel turns back out to your starting position. Let's come into your straddle forward fold one more time. Hinge at the hips, top of the head drops down towards the mat. Hands can support on the thighs, the knees, the shins, the ankles, wherever feels good for you. Nice big breath here, in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Again, notice if anything is different in the body in this straddle forward fold. Compare to your last time. And when you're ready, tuck the chin into the chest, use the core, slowly, slowly, slowly roll all the way back up to your center position. Now let's move through that whole sequence again, one more time, a little bit faster. Left heel turns to the center of the body. Left toes are pointing towards the left of the room. Reach both arms nice and wide. Keeping those fingers stretching to left and right, turn the palms down towards the floor. Bend in the left knee, gaze towards the left hand, warrior two. Left hand or elbow comes to the left thigh. Right hand comes to the ceiling or overhead towards the left of the room. Extended side angle. Lifting the body, using the core, come all the way back up so the body is straight, top of the head reaching to the ceiling. Left heel turns back to your starting position. Come into your straddle forward fold. Hinge at the hips, top of the head reaching down towards the mat. Staying here now just for a second, tuck the chin to the chest, use the core, roll all the way back up. Nice, right heel pivots in, so those right toes turning towards the right of the room. Extend both arms wide, reach through the fingertips. Turn the palms so they're facing the floor, bend in the right knee, gaze towards the right hand, warrior two. Right hand or elbow to the knee or thigh, left hand to the ceiling, or just overhead, stretching towards the right of the room. Extended side angle. And using the core, come all the way back up. Turning that right heel back to starting position. One more time, straddle forward fold. Hinge at the hips, top of the head dropping towards the mat. Hands can support on the legs. And tucking the chin, roll all the way back up to your starting position. That's it for today, friends.
Hi, everyone again. I'm a little more flushed than I was before that video as we all moved here, taking advantage of that. Thank you to Leanne, founder of Sekond Skin Society. Even better than the warm-up that Leanne just led us through. As a token of support, Sekond Skin Society is offering 2 free classes for Move for Sight Day on Sunday, June 23rd. Go to the website to register for either the yoga class they are offering or the strength training class they are offering, or both. And for anyone who's signing up for a Sekond Skin Society new membership on Move Day, that's Sunday, June 23rd, a portion of proceeds will be donated to Fighting Blindness Canada. I think that's brilliant. We're really happy to have Sekond Skin Society, Leanne Ruber and her team as part of our community now. And not only do I love what they stand for, but they're making it easy for everyone in our community to participate and Move for Sight. I know, for example, that I like to have organized activities to go to. It makes me feel like I'm part of something that's bigger than just myself. And that's exactly what Sekond Skin Society is making it possible for all our community across Canada. So if you don't want to do something alone, but you're not really sure what you want, what you can do, or what you want to do, Sekond Skin Society is making it very easy. Just sign up and take advantage of those 2 free classes. We're soon going to take some questions and then wrap it up. But first, I also want to talk about the work that I am doing in preparation for Move for Sight and what my activity will be. As a lifelong competitive swimmer, I'm comfortable in the pool and in open water, like a lake, for example. But I'm going to be removing my ability to see and dipping my toes into the water and what it means to live without vision. I'm going to be bringing all of me closer to the work I do every day. My uncle had Usher syndrome, which is why this cause is already close to my heart. But to have the chance to immerse myself in the sensory experience of not using my visual cues will really, I expect, heighten my understanding of why our commitment to vision health, the research that we do, and supporting our community with education and connection opportunities like young leaders continues to be so important. Let's take a last moment to cover Move for Sight key information. This is your opportunity to challenge yourself or challenge your friends. How you move is your choice. Choose an activity that is meaningful for you. It could be a personal challenge over the next 7 weeks leading up to June 23rd, Move for Sight Day. Maybe you walk each day for an hour. You do 30 minutes of yoga every week. You do 15 minutes of skipping rope every day. Honestly, it's whatever excites you and wants and something that you maybe look forward to doing and you take a lot of pride in. Whatever the challenge is, it should be exciting, maybe even a little intimidating. Or maybe you're going to wait for actual Move Day itself on Sunday, June 23rd. That could be doing a hike that you've long been wanting to do, but it's been a little daunting. Maybe it's planning a long 4-hour walk with your team. Or maybe it's simply baking 50 cupcakes with your family and then giving it to your supporters as a thank you for their support of you. Whatever your Move challenge is, register today and Move for Sight with us on June 23rd to move vision research forward and education as well. Move for Sight is Sunday, June 23rd. Share your story on our social media channels. Tell us why you are moving and who you are moving for. Share pictures, words, videos. Tell us your stories. Share what is inspiring you and why you are doing this. Be part of our community of Canadians coming together so no one feels alone as we work to find treatments and cures for vision loss and connect each other through our education and community programs. Now, before we wrap, we do want to offer the opportunity to anyone to ask a question. I'm going to leave a moment to see if there's any questions in our Q&A.
Hi, JJ, this is Morgan. We have a question, and I just want to let everyone know that if they want to ask a question, they can type it into the Q&A box that's at the bottom of the Zoom screen. But our first question was, what do I need to do if I've participated in Cycle for Sight in the past year? How does the system look different with Move for Sight?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. The answer is actually pretty easy, which is if you were part of Cycle for Sight in the past, Move for Sight is using the same platform. It just has some updating images and messaging. So when you go to register, if you are a returning Cycle for Sight participant, be sure to register as a returning user. This will ensure you have access to your past donor contact list and giving history, making it much easier to fundraise this year for Move for Sight. If you have any questions, we're happy to help you through your registration. Just let us know. Any other questions, Morgan, coming in?
Yep, so there was another question. So what if I'm unable to take part on Sunday, June 23rd?
We chose a day to encourage everyone because we think it's really powerful to know that everybody is getting up on that day, collectively working towards fundraising and doing an event with their community. But we also recognize that another day may be better suited for your schedule. So as long as you choose a day that works for you and your community, we encourage you to select that day and go for it. Just use the website to tell your community the day that you're working on. And it could be maybe one of the days between now and June 23rd. The key thing is to register and track your stories and communicate with your network and your friends and family through that platform.
Thanks, Jennifer. I think that's all our questions for today.
That's perfect. All right. Thank you, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday, June 23rd, as we all get together and Move for Sight. Thank you for joining us today.